Hello Leo Moons, and welcome to your prediction for the new moon in Virgo happening around the 17th of September. And we've just moved through this very emotional Pisces moon, and now we're moving to a little bit more practical but still very healing Virgo energy. Virgo moon, Virgo sun. Some beautiful trines are happening, but of course Mars is retrograding from the 9th of September, and Tanya Gabrielle says that this is an activation of sacred masculine, which I think is a really beautiful interpretation, but it can still be the kind of energy that triggers us in certain ways, brings certain things up, and we have to watch about us not reacting in an aggressive way. And I think with your Leo moon that it's particularly useful for you to be very aware of those kinds of fiery energies, to not react too quickly. So don't just fly off the handle because someone upsets you, because maybe it's not actually necessarily that that person is upsetting you, but they've triggered something in the past that still needs to be healed, that needs to be dealt with. Now really is the time for dealing with those kinds of things. And in terms of what is coming up for you in sort of general energies, I have the anchor, the garden, and the coffin. And so the anchor, the anchor has so many wonderful symbols or sort of metaphoric meanings behind it. It stabilizes us, it grounds us, it keeps us rooted, it stops us from moving in the direction we don't want to move. It allows us a chance to pause while we plan our next course of action. It brings stability. But this anchor is on the shore. It's not out at sea. And so this anchor really is grounded, rooted, not moving, not voyaging right now. And for me, this is really talking about the need for you to sit with yourself, to meditate. Mr. Flinty always comes through for the Leo energies. And the garden that's coming up is really talking about social gatherings and talking about being social. And so I'd really like for you to be very conscious about balancing out the amount of social time you have with the amount of alone time you have. And I know 2020 has been a time of immense alone time, a lot of alone time, hermiting, being at home. And perhaps there's this urge, and of course with that Leo moon, you really do feed off being social, you really do love to be outgoing. But I'd like to just caution you about, firstly, you've done so much growing this year. You've done so much growing, and you've actually changed so much. And everyone has done some growing, but maybe you've grown out of certain friends, and maybe it's time to reevaluate who it is you want to spend your time with. And the only way to know that is to spend the time with the friends and then to go back and check in with how you feel. Do you feel good after having seen those people? Do you feel that it's added value to your life? And likewise, have you added value to theirs? Or has it just been this old comfortable thing that you've gone back to? And are you feeling this sense of having outgrown that space? And it's okay to outgrow that space. You can bless those people and just slowly distance yourself. And maybe you've really learned to enjoy your own company a lot more. And so with the coffin, it's really saying that it is an end. It's an end in how you socialize and who you socialize with, and where you socialize and what kinds of things you want to do when you socialize and gather with people. Perhaps it's obviously a lot more online these days. And just check in with how you feel and ask yourself in which direction you would like to transform. In which direction is it going to be best for your spiritual growth, your emotional growth, your healing? Is it healing to be around these people? Does it sustain you? And of course, I don't necessarily mean this in a material way, like you don't need to be getting physical payoffs from these people, but is it emotionally rewarding? And in terms of the energy that's leading up to this new moon, we have the Queen of Swords with the Page of Pentacles. And so there is this sense of the storm clouds clearing, and whatever difficulties you've been experiencing, you're really just seeing how they've actually been a blessing. They've allowed you to grow and to change and to transform. And you're really beginning to just see that shimmering light. And it really is just, you know, even though you're actually seeing a lot of the light right now, I just want to tell you it's only the beginning. It's only the beginning of the beautiful blessings that are going to be unfolding for you if you continue upon this healing and transformation path. And the other thing that's coming through is that I feel like you've been studying. Maybe you're reading a new book that's really giving you some amazing insights. Maybe you've been talking to a mentor or some kind of spiritual teacher or guide. And there really is just this sense of new knowledge coming in at this time. And you need to take alone time, quiet time, in order to integrate this. And you need to analyze your own actions, your reactions, the way you specifically react in social situations. And of course, social situations can even be talking about your work environment, because the work environment can often be quite a social space. You know, we work with other people, if you do, of course. And then in terms of what's unfolding for you around the new moon, we have the Unknown card with the Strength card. And so there is a bit of a surprise coming. There is something that is going to unfold that the energies just don't want to tell you about it right now because it's not right. And there is a sense that you're not supposed to know about this right now, but there is going to be something unfolding. It might be quite a big surprise, quite a shock. And I think in the end, this is going to really be a positive thing, but you might not receive it in that way immediately. And so I just want you to breathe through it when you receive this message or insight, or it might even just be a sudden realization that you have over the new moon that you just cannot ignore, and you realize there are some changes you need to make. And again, I really feel like you're making changes within the social sphere, within your relationships to other people. But you have the strength to make it through this. You have the strength to carry this. You have the strength to manifest this change, to transform through it. And if you do, the thing that's unfolding for you after the new moon is the Sun with the Queen of Wands. And of course, the Sun holds joy, hope, abundance. In fact, in so many ways, it really is, the Sun really is for Leo. Of course, Leo is your moon placement, and you could have any Sun placement, but the Sun really is about that Leo energy. The Sun is the ruler of Leo. And the Sun, I mean, without the Sun, guys, we would not survive. We would not be alive. We would never have even been here. We need the Sun. The Sun provides, I mean, not only vitamin D for us. I mean, we literally absorb the Sun into our skin and turn it into nutrients and vitamins and energy, but also to grow our plants. We need it for the earth. We need it for all sorts of energy. It's one of the most important and life-giving planets. And it really holds joy. I mean, if you think of a beautiful sunny day, you're probably thinking about the beach or maybe being in the nature. It really is, it's heart-opening, it's joyful, it's abundant, and it's also about the next generation, because the sun has this aspect of cycles to it. The sun comes up, the sun goes down, and it comes back every day. And so it's about that promise of the next cycle. And so I'm really getting this sense of planting seeds for the next generation. And so, you know, sometimes it feels like the tasks we have as this current generation are just so huge, so big, such a huge challenge to embark upon. You know, this changing of the world and putting better systems in place. And it is a massive challenge, but we don't plant those seeds just for ourselves. You know, if we were to plant a tree and for ourselves, we'd probably never do it, because we're probably never going to see that tree produce fruit. But we don't do it for ourselves, we do it for the future generations. And even if you're not going to have your own children, the thing is, we really are part of a huge family, a huge human family. You know, genetics and DNA research has shown that we all share common ancestors, and that we literally are the same in terms of our capabilities, our actual evolution in terms of mind space and abilities within the body. And that the only you know, those very physical markers of, you know, our race and you know, different heights, different hair kinds and colors, etc. These are only physical adaptations, but really we are all related, and we are not so separately related. In fact, your furthest relative on this earth alive today is only 2,000 generations distant from you. And that's really incredible. And I must remember to link a documentary below, and you guys should also read some Greg Braden. He's also got a series on Gaia, which is really amazing. And Greg Braden is a scientist and really works with talking about unity and how we need to visualize ourselves as part of this human family, because a lot of the problems of this idea of separateness is that we don't recognize that every single human person out there is our brother and sister. And so it really is a joyful beginning. There is a lot of energy coming to you after this new moon. There is a lot of creative passion. There's a lot of creative inspiration coming through. And of course, this really goes well with those Leo energies here with this Queen of Wands. But there is also this importance with this creativity and this passion and this drive and all of this joy to just constantly remember to tap in with what is your greater vision in terms of globally. What do you want to see globally? What do you want to see in the bigger picture? Then what do you want to see in terms of your own individual life? And then how does that life in some way serve the greater goal of humanity? How does it serve your brothers and sisters, essentially? And so this is really the things I want you to be thinking about when you have all of this amazing and divine inspiration. Good luck with this unknown element that's about to unfold. And you know, it could also be something exciting. I feel like it's going to be life-changing. I mean, maybe it's a new job offer, maybe it's an opportunity to move. It could be any number of things. But hey, maybe it's something tragic like a landlord evicting you, something like this. But I really just hope that you're able to approach this with the knowledge that you can make it through, that you are strong, and that this transformation is actually a blessing. Beautiful Leo moons. Such a pleasure to have you in this space. Thank you for watching. Please follow me on Facebook, LunAscention, and on Instagram at LunAscension. I do a live every Tuesday evening, 8:30 p.m. GMT +2, and that's South African time. And this is power cuts allowing. So sometimes we have power cuts, and last week I had to cancel, unfortunately, but I do post announcements, and hopefully we're back on track this week. So thank you so much.